Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Tonight, I am joined by Justin Whang.
Hey, what's going on?
Thanks for coming on, man. I really
Yeah,
appreciate it. I know you came on with me to another stream that I host on Thursdays.
yeah, we did the cunt stream a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I figured I'd get you over onto my own channel and we can talk about you and not like some focused topic, you know?
Yeah, got you. We were trying to get this going for a couple of weeks too, but it's so hard for me to schedule anything. Like usually it just winds up being a case of like, hey, can you jump on now? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing anything right now. But this whole planning ahead thing, it doesn't work for me sometimes.
Right? With life and work and everything
Yeah,
else.
that's why I tend to I was trying to get Twitch going for a bit, but you can't really do Twitch unless you can commit to doing at least a day or the same time, like a few times a week.
Yeah, I think with Twitch you have to be pretty consistent because I have a Twitch and I have like I'm saying like 55 followers, and it's one of those things where it's super hard to grow. People will jump in, jump out, and they just try and find people that they're entertained by, and
Yeah.
it's really rough.
It's one of those things too. I see a lot of YouTubers going oh, like we're gonna hop on Twitch because this and that doesn't go right with YouTube. Then Twitch is gonna save us. Twitch isn't gonna save anybody. It's a very different skill set, and they're probably more restricted than YouTube is.
Oh, massively restrictive. I have friends who were using Twitch when YouTube was hitting people with strikes and other things, and they do like conservative news and stuff like that, and they do interviews, Revenge of the Cis, and they showed a documentary from Britain, and it got them banned from Twitch, like a
No,
little snippet of a documentary, and I don't know if it was the wording or what the topic was, but their Twitch channel's gone.
don't they go after you now too if you say something offensive off the platform?
Yes.
Yeah, like
From what
that's
I heard,
bull.
it's massively like restrictive.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That's like if you're doing something with Twitch, they basically want to own your entire internet persona, regardless of what you're doing off of Twitch. At that point,
Ye-
they should be paying you a fucking contract.
exactly. And if they're going to control your speech and your life in that manner, you might want to adjust like the thought process of how you
The
treat
thought
your
process.
creators, how you treat your creators if you're going to limit their speech everywhere else too.
I
But
guess that's a good segue into one of the things you wanted to talk about, the fucking the Pewdiepie thought business.
oh god, yeah. So I don't know if any of the viewers or any of the future viewers saw it today, but Philip DeFranco was talking about this girl, Alinity. She is a Twitch streamer. A couple of days ago, PewDiePie did a eye tracker video where you set up a little camera that watches your eyes and puts up a display on the screen. And with that display, it shows you where your eyes are catching. And so he went and watched some, Twitch viewers and different stuff to see if it would pop off his eyes. And she happened to be one of the people in the video, and went ahead and told someone in the background, I don't know if it's her boyfriend or someone, to copyright strike him.
That like I have that because I've seen that clip a bunch of times. I saw it on Scares's video, and I saw it in Keemstar's video, and I saw it again on Philip DeFranco's video. Just her going copy strike Pewdiepie, copy strike him over and over again. You
Yeah,
know
just
what?
the
It's funny that she's so fucking dumb that she basically admitted to fraudulently using the copyright system on stream. There's evidence of her showing that she's using it improperly because what he said, even though it's very obviously transformative, she was mad about it. So she wants to call it a copyright issue.
yeah, and the simple fact that she was boasting to her viewers um, later about the fact that she gets $700 a month from copyright claiming people. Like in the Philip DeFranco video, she goes on, he shows more of it after the initial video of her, and later in her stream, she's like, I don't even understand the law. I just know I get $700 a month from doing this.
What?
Dude, yeah,
Oh, I missed that. At this point I tuned it out. Holy shit.
yeah, so she is.
I mean, that sounds like a good scam, but I don't admit doing that on stream.
So, hey, how can I make some money? Oh, sorry, Whang. You used my face in the video. I'm gonna go ahead and take your money.
There are people, I don't know how persistent it is now. I've never had to deal with it. But there are people who would go around trying to false copyright claim like stock music and shit like that. And sometimes would make some money just because people wouldn't bother to fight it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think YouTube since has put more safeguards against that. But I remember that being an issue.
But they have straight listening copywriters. Like I'll make a video and it'll have, a clip from WB or like something.
Oh yeah,
That.
sometimes they're just in the algorithm. It's weird things that'll pop up too. Like I had that for a while. I was doing this gag where I would just put up a wall of text over some cartoon, whatever the fuck, and like a cartoon intro theme. And one of the ones I tried using once, the only one of these, I did a few of these. And the only time it ever triggered the copyright system was RG's Mysteries. So I caught that on the Patreon version. On Patreon I'll upload the version the preliminary final cut of the video before I put it up. So I caught that luckily in the Patreon version and changed in the final version. But that was so fucking weird to me.
Yeah, I don't understand. Well, they're listening for words and other stuff and different things and visual cues. But like they don't listen for if there's breaks in it or anything like that. They just listen for a huge chunk of it. Yeah. And like I've been hit with claims on almost every single video that I use a video and use it in a fair use manner where I cut it up and I throw in my thoughts and, bring in different stuff. Like, I don't know how many times it's happened. It's ridiculous. I at least claim one a week.
Fox used to be really aggressive about that. I remember that they're still pretty aggressive about it, but they don't deal out strikes like they used to. I remember I had this old channel that was just basically old shit posts. And when Kim Jong-il died, there was this video, if you remember, I don't know if you remember, when he died, there was this video of all the North Koreans throwing themselves in front of the monuments and crying, bawling with tears. And what I had done was I had taken that and I cut it with the episode of Futurama where the dog dies. So I just made it out like they're watching that. And within seconds, I had a copyright strike from Fox.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, usually my copyright strikes will come like a day later. Like mine are never instantaneous. Like I got hit by WB or Warner Brothers rather for what was it? TMZ. I used the TMZ clip with Kanye where he's talking. Yeah, TMZ must be owned by Warner Brothers. And
I've heard, I think it was TMZ. No, actually, wait, this might have been a gaming website or something where they tried to claim a clip from a trailer that wasn't even their clip. It's happened recently, like within the past few weeks, I think.
Yeah, I haven't looked into any of like the claims or anything going on, but I just know what I got hit with. I got hit with Fox when I used speaking because I watched your video on the Borat stuff, and I got hit with the claim by them for Borat for using the part where he's talking to the feminists.
Wait, was it the clip that I used in my video, or were you watching? Did you get a copyright strike watching my video or something like that?
Oh no! It was
you're watching
I did a cut and used it in one of my videos. That scene where he's talking to the the feminist, and he's like, I don't even remember the context, but it was like a 25-second clip of him just shitting on the feminists in the movie. And I got a claim from Fox as well. And I only had a single dispute it, but there's others where, like CBS, they're fucking notorious, man. I had to double claim and go into great detail to get the strike or the claim off of my video for using a Colbert clip where he was talking to James Franco.
Yeah.
I just don't understand some of these people. And you go into this situation where you have a thought. That's what she is. She is a thought. She's literally
a hole over there.
She's over there saying she's going to claim PewDiePie's video because he used her image for a split second and because she doesn't like the word thought.
I don't like the word thought. Copy strike PewDiePie. How do we copy strike PewDiePie?
Yeah, she.
How did you even find? Is she a big streamer?
She must be because I haven't looked her up, but let's see if any of her shit pops up when I do just a. I think it might be Alinity XQC. If it's yeah, this is her. She has about 90,000 subscribers on YouTube, and then you add whatever she has on Twitch.
So if she's on YouTube and she's talking about using the copyright system in that kind of way, she should be kicked the fuck off of YouTube because that's against their terms of service, like explicitly.
Yeah, and she at the end is talking about she doesn't know the laws and she just does it. You would think that with Philip DeFranco putting it out there to the world that she should get hit with something, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just curious because I can't see. Oh, she's got 654,000 followers on Twitch.
Let's see how her social blade's looking with this going on. What's her name?
Alinity is her Twitter.
Alinity.
I mean, not Twitter, her YouTube.
YouTube.
I wonder how much hate she is getting on Twitter because she has her Twitter linked to. Yeah, it's just Alinity is all her stuff.
Yeah, her YouTube's actually. I would expect her to be getting a big hit after that, but she's actually up 65 subscribers today.
Well, I mean, she did just get views from Philip DeFranco.
Yeah. Well, it's touch and go sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes people get hit hard with the controversy. Sometimes it doesn't really make a difference. Although, you know what? I guess the kinds of people who would be affected by seeing someone act like an idiot in that kind of way aren't the kinds of people who would be subscribed to a person like this to unsubscribe from them to begin with. So it makes sense.
Yeah, because they're not subscribed to her because of her freaking knowledge. They're subscribed to her because of her tits.
Yeah.
Like, they're definitely not watching her to gain any kind of world perspective or like anything like that. They're subscribed to her because she shakes her boobies around.
Not even that big.
And they look okay in the PewDiePie clip.
But now I'm looking at. Now I'm seeing some better pictures. Never mind. Now you're gonna get a copy strike,
dude. The funny thing is I mean, she can't claim this just as talking about her, but I'm gonna actually put out a video and I'm gonna find some of her YouTube shit and just intermix the fuck out of it and see if she claims me. Because it'd be funny. It'd be funny to watch her a 90K channel copyright claim a 255 subscriber channel.
You would think that if there were some kind of history of false copyright claims that they would do something to account for that. Which actually I think that was something that they implemented to solve that problem I was talking about before with the false copyright claims.
Yeah, and I don't know. I know there's consequence. If you get false DMCA, you can lose your channel, you can lose a lot of stuff. And for someone like her, like, I mean, she probably reposts all of her Twitch shit onto YouTube. And so, I mean, that's a huge stream of revenue. Not huge, but you know what I mean, a stream of revenue that she would lose out on. I don't know. She's just
Yeah.
one of those. One of those.
What did you say she has on Twitch? 90 subscribers? I mean, 90,000?
No, YouTube's like 90,000. Twitch is 654,000 followers. I don't know her
Followers.
subscriber count.
Okay.
So
Subscribers are funny.
Twitch subscribers actually pay money to the creator.
Yeah, that's kind of like the sponsored
Yeah.
program they're rolling out here.
Yeah,
It's weird
almost
too because they did it where like it started out it was only gaming channels, but now some regular channels have it, but not all of them.
Yeah, I heard they were doing beta with the sponsorship channel stuff. It was going into beta, so they're probably putting it on big channels and seeing how it does. But I mean, that's not really a test the water kind of channel. You know, you can't gauge how it works when it's just like massive channels.
It also kind of sucks because if you're one of the people, like people only have so much money. So if you're not one of the lucky ones who got it right off the bat, then you kind of have these people who are already putting their money that they might have set aside for this kind of thing. Like other people are getting a head start.
Yeah. And the fact that, you know, let's say someone puts, you know, has $10 they're willing to give out, then these channels that have it and gaming channels that have already had it are more fortunate because they have that already precursory done, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I hate, let me not say hate because I do have like a Patreon and stuff like that, but it feels like a weird like shift to the dynamic when you start taking money for people like just as like a subscriber or whatnot. But at the same time, I think it's good for YouTube as a platform because it makes them less dependent on the advertisers.
Yeah, and I bet their subscriptions do the same thing that like super chats do, where YouTube gets a certain percentage. Like I'm assuming that's how it works, or they have like a processing fee.
Yeah, they would definitely not implement that without taking a cut, because then at that point they're basically just costing themselves money for the server costs or whatever.
Yeah, which you got to think that they're making a shit ton of money on channels, because I've heard from people that even if you're not monetized and your content's okay, that they can still serve ads on it.
I don't know if that's happened. What do you mean not monetized? Do you mean the limited or no ads thing? Do you mean you have monetization turned off, or?
I mean, like the yellow or even red. I mean, not yellow or red, non monetized channels. So, like my channel, it would be out of monetization.
Yeah, like a yellow dollar sign, you'll still get ads as long as the advertiser opted into accepting unmonetized. Accepting ads on yellow videos.
Yeah, but the creator doesn't get any of that, right? Once they're yellow, do you?
Yeah, once yellow, you do. The only time you'll have ads served and you don't get it is if you have a copyright claim on it.
Then it goes to whoever the claim hold, or
exactly.
But once you dispute it, it's sitting there in limbo, right? The money's just floating until whoever wins the claim gets it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious about that because, like, as you can see, I'm not at the monetization point or anything like that, so I'm kind of out of the realm. Granted, in old YouTube, I'd be there making 50 cents to a couple of dollars a month.
What sucks is that even if you were to hit that point, what's been a big hurdle for people now is a lot of people are hitting the point, but their waiting list is so fucking long to actually get approved for the partnership that you have a lot of people who are at this point well past the point of they're getting the right amount of hours, have enough subscribers, and it's been like months and they don't have it.
Well, you watched my video with Jake, the interview I did with him last night. Mm-hmm. He's been eligible for monetization since well before they changed it, and after they changed it, they said, we're working on monetizing eligible channels. You meet eligibility, but we're working on it. You'll be monetized hopefully by the end of June. And he's been monetized, technically available for over 5 months.
Yeah, that sucks.
And so, I mean, it's not like it's huge revenue. You make more money and you through merch and other stuff where, you know, they actually get something besides just your content, you know?
Yeah.
So I know you had your logo redesigned and everything. Do you do any kind of like creator stuff like Teespring or anything like that to, you know, people who
Um,
are fans?
I actually do have right now I have a mug up with it was this guy Scotch Bunny. He just drew this logo I thought was cool for a coffee mug, so I have that up on a Spreadshirt.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, the guy who made my new logo and he made the new dog thing that I have too, he's making a design for me right now. It should be in a couple days. It should be good to go. Actually, I'm not sure which site I'll use. My original plan for that was actually I wanted to do a screen printed shirt because I wanted to do like sleeve prints and stuff like that. But the thing of that is like I don't really know what the demand is, and that's like a big upfront cost. So I think I'm going to do one of the print to order sites like Teespring or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest way not to run into like a surplus of merch
Yeah,
unintentionally. You know, if you do a 100 print or 1,000 print, you're kind of stuck with that and hope you sell it, you know?
yeah. Like I'm very, very anal about like materials and print quality and stuff like that. So it's gonna like hurt a little to put the merch on a print to order site because that like the type of printing process they use is it's just never as good. But it's necessary. What I think I will do eventually is do like a more limited run of screen printed shirts or whatever on better materials.
Yeah.
But the print order just makes sense right now at this point, especially
I
like with the channel growing like it is. I have no idea like where people are with like wanting to buy merch.
yeah, they Jason says that's why I dropped my Patreon amount down. I got the same bang for my buck for $1 as I did 20. Excited for merch though. So he must
Or
be one of your followers
yeah,
because
Jason Verhoek, he's a long time subscriber, long time Patreon patron.
yeah, and see like and there's people out there who want to support. Like I have one patron and like I'm gonna switch mine to a monthly. I was doing a buy creation because then they could hold me accountable and they
Mhm.
could set their, you know, oh, max is $5 a month. And if I don't make 5 videos, I'm not smoking their $5, you know?
Yeah,
So, but no, I actually, the shirt I'm wearing right now is one of mine. And I actually did it through Teespring and the quality is not bad at all. Um, the screen printing is pretty damn good and it feels like it'll hold up to some washes and everything. Um, it just was nice that I didn't have to figure out like where to go through for printing. I could just say, you know what, you guys handle it all and do all of that.
yeah.
And
There's
even like it allows you to put logos on the back. It doesn't let you do with anything with the sleeves though, which bummed me out.
Yeah, I asked. I figured that the best bet in terms of print to order services would be designed by humans because their whole thing is that yeah, actual people are making your prints and whatnot, but they don't have a setup for that either. I don't think any of them do sleeve prints.
Yeah, because I wanted to do my logo on the sleeve. Instead, I had to do it on I did it on the top back of the collar. That way
Mhm.
it's out of sight, out of mind, but it's still somewhere floating around on the shirt. And it looks really good. And the logo turned out like the channel logo looks really good on it. But it's one of those things. And as one of my mods, my really good friend Sicko says, I also got a free shirt because they fucked up, sent me the wrong shirt. So it was some other, it was like some Japanese like wrestling stable T-shirt, but it was like the Gun
Was
Club, and like it had, I'm like,
wait,
huh,
so it was like a Bullet Club parody shirt?
it was a Bullet Club
It
shirt.
was literally a
It was
it
Bullet
was
Club. That's what it was.
literally- Wait, Teespring sent you a Bullet Club T-shirt
By
randomly?
accident.
That's
Yeah,
so fucking
because
weird.
they bagged it wrong or they put it in the wrong because everything on mine read the name, everything read right. But when I open up the shirt, it's the Bullet Club, which is
Do
a
you
cool
watch
shirt.
wrestling at all?
I do watch wrestling.
But like Bullet Club, it's like Bullet Club is like the Kekistan of pro wrestling. Like,
Is it
basically,
really?
that's how I feel about it. Like, I haven't been to a small indie show recently, but you could go and it would be flooded with Bullet Club shirts, and everyone like acts like they're in like a special club together. Eh.
That's actually really good stuff. You know, it's a meme. It's a meme crew.
It basically is a fucking meme crew. They like you know Bullet Club. They'll do like the too sweet, like all the end. Actually, they're not allowed to do that anymore because WWE gave them the cease and desist. But there would be like a lot of those NWO type references, a lot of like
Yeah,
meta in jokes that the kinds of indie wrestling smarks might get. That's the essence of what Bullet Club is, but in Japan.
that's funny. Yeah, and it was their 100% logo. It was It was the military style, so it was like a camo. So I open up my shirt and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then, pardon me, I hit them up and I snap a picture of it, and they're like, "Oh, we're so sorry. It must have got mixed up. Hey, don't send us back the shirt. Keep the shirt. We'll send you out a reprint of the one you actually ordered. We're so sorry about that." So, I mean, they have good customer service. That's the one thing that really makes a difference to me. And I want people who, if they're going to support me, or like I'm sure you would, that they're going to be treated right and they're not going to be like treated like shit, you know?
Yeah, you know what? Too, that's probably they probably sent you bootleg Bullet Club merch too, because they do all their American printing on pro wrestling tees.
Yeah, it was probably someone maybe poached the logo, but then again, I
Definitely,
was looking at like,
there's a lot of
uh,
that on that, or those kinds of sites at least.
yeah, because you can build and create anything. So, I know we've been kind of all over the place talking about stuff. I was curious, like, you've been on YouTube for how long now?
Um, I want to say it's 2 Mays ago, so almost 2 years.
Oh, almost 2 years,
Yeah, so
and
actually, it might be almost like might be like exactly pretty close. Let me check now. Like it's definitely like around the exact 2 year mark at this point. Going to my channel.
while you're looking, I'm
May
gonna
21st.
May 21st will be your 2 year mark. So
Yeah.
you got 6 days to come up with the anniversary stream, man.
Fuck yeah. I've been liking the vibe I have for the streams that I do. Like they don't have the same aesthetic as my videos. I just like put on some game music at like just the colored lights and do it on the cell phone. And it's like it's to me it's like it's so much easier than do like I don't know what it is. It just has like a different energy when you do it with the phone, even though the quality is not as good, especially when you're sitting in a dark room.
Well, yeah, and it gives it more of that personal feel. So this
Yeah.
is the shirt that I ended up with because they screwed up and sent me the wrong one. I was trying to find, so they have it listed under jobs and military, and look at the
Oh my god.
title. Look at the title.
Bullet Club Army style Samsung Galaxy.
From Army is the brand or the channel. So I
It's
don't know if they're
military
just,
apparel.
yeah, apparently they're just, I'm curious what this place does. Oh, okay. So they do it. They just take a bunch of different military style stuff and put it together. Jesus Christ,
Oh my
18
god.
pages.
Yo, that 100% means that the person who makes this Teespring store found the Bullet Club logo and legitimately thought it was just like some army thing.
Yeah, because if you search Bullet Club, I was looking through it, and there's a few who know what the hell is going on. And it's like Japanese, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like, but these other people, like this, people have taken it and, thrown in the Punisher logo.
Eh.
It's just,
There's a lot of Bullet Club parody shirts.
I mean, there's some
Uh,
cool ass shirts on here, but Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
I think if you go on ProWrestlingTees.com, half the fucking indie wrestlers are going to have some variation of a Bullet Club parody.
Yeah, it's just,
That's like, I really. Do you follow AB Websurf?
I don't.
He's he's a friend of mine, good commentary channel, and he has this series where he reviews YouTuber merch. It's called Your Merch Sucks. And
I
it's really
actually have. Yes, I came across him. I didn't know that. Wait, Wavy, right?
yeah, Wavy Web Surf.
Yeah, I found him through someone else. I think maybe you put him on there, but the guy was this guy reviews other YouTubers and commentary channels and just basically either is pro them or really shits on them. And then he was talking about Wavy, and I came across Wavy stuff, and I was watching him do some reviews. He puts out some good shit, man.
Yeah, yeah, Wavy's cool. But yeah, I really want him to do an episode about wrestling merch, especially indie wrestling merch, because as much as cringy as a lot of YouTuber merch is, I feel like pro wrestling is way, way worse.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're not looking at like the mainstream stuff, like WWE stuff, they don't.
Even some of theirs was pretty bad. I mean, back in the day, you had that Acolyte shirt that said "Always Pounding Ass." There was a lot of what was it? I think it was a TNA AJ Styles shirt that looked like it was covered in cum stains.
Oh God, dude.
But I'm deadass. I'm just gonna Google AJ Styles cum stain shirt.
And share it so people can see. Or you're on your phone, huh?
Oh, so. No, I'm dead ass. I found it. I'm gonna put it in the side chat.
I'll pull it up and I'll present it. Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous, dude. That's funny as shit though when people like, yeah, that's cringe. Like some of that stuff's just so cringe, you know.
For some reason, it's putting me into a. There we go. This is like why? Who would think this is a good idea?
Oh my God, dude. Well, the guy modeling it looks a
that's
little. I haven't seen him in so long, dude.
Man, that's young AG without his beard and with short hair.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I got a shirt that looks like it's dripping all over the place. Jesus Christ. I don't know who they got to have a designer for this stuff, right? You would think.
There's no way somebody designed that shirt and didn't realize what it looked like.
Oh, right. And someone's one of my mods, Sicko, was like, he looks constipated. Could agree to that. He does look like he's really got to drop a fatty.
He very well might have.
Oh my God.
Did you ever see the video where CM Punk shit himself in the ring?
You're kidding me. No, I watched a lot of CM Punk too, but I never saw a video where he shit himself.
It was an episode of SmackDown, I think. There was like you could see the poop on the ring and the referee like kicks it away.
No. Oh, there we go. The match. Oh, versus Dean Ambrose.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He didn't like. You have it. He didn't.
I have the video. I wanna get to the part.
He grabs it with his fucking hands while CM Punk is in a submission hold. One poop, then the other poop, and it's gone.
So CM's got him in a submission hold.
Dean Ambrose has CM Punk in a submission hold. I'm just gonna put it in the side chat too. It's a fucking gif.
Oh God.
I'm dead ass like tweeting that shit right now. Yo.
So here's what we were talking about. Look, the ref's scooping the poop off. That's so cool. It's like, seriously, I'm surprised you haven't seen that on like the Kumite or something, you know, since they use all those old wrestling footages and make it where like one of the people.
Surely there's an opportunity where you put somebody's head on the bodies and someone's grabbing someone else's poop.
Yeah, they take They take like freaking
Well, I made one.
Tonka's head and put it on like CM's face or on the Dean Ambrose's face, and the ref is one of the like Destiny or something picking up the shit.
Well, I had made one that was like the Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan one, where the fucking there's no bell to ring thing. If you remember that, I had made one like that with Tonka and Destiny.
Jesus Christ! Like these people, man. Like the I remember like some of the cringiest shit came out of wrestling, and like it always makes me feel like a little nerdy or like fucking toolish. I don't know, because I was into wrestling all when I grew up. Like, because I grew up in the Attitude Era, you know.
Yeah.
That was like the best part of wrestling, you know, DX and all those guys, and just some of the shit they got away with, like that. You remember that skit DX did where like it was the address to the nation, and they were standing behind the presidential seal?
Yes.
And where they're just like, we will no longer say this, this, and this. And like they're just repeating it.
I don't think anything will ever beat the DX moment where they drove a fucking tank to the place that WCW was having a show.
Or when was it WCW's building where they freaking went and spray painted "suck it" on the side of it?
Yeah, that was the same night, I think.
Oh man, I gotta say, dude, like old school wrestling before politically correctness and all this was just fucking best, man. To be quite honest. So oh, go ahead.
Actually, like I had a video, like one of the videos I'm working on is about. Do you remember the old rumor that there were two Ultimate Warriors?
Yes.
Yeah, it's about that. Because what's kind of like holding me up a little bit. I remember seeing it either like it had to be in a CVS or some drugstore like that where they had magazines. They had a magazine that was talking about that rumor, and I can't find it.
Magazine.
That's going to be like crucial. Not necessarily crucial. I can still do the story without it, but that's going to be like an important part of it if I can find it. There were a few though. Like, I remember there were a bunch of them that had pictures of the Ultimate Warrior and Sting together, like when they were a tag team. That might have muddied the waters a bit.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of different reasons why people think that.
Well, and I mean, like, there's that picture where they look totally different. Like,
yeah.
That popped right up when I searched two Ultimate Warriors.
Because he came back, and he was smaller, and he had that PTA fucking mullet.
Yeah. Well, that, and then there's like people who said, look at his feet.
Look at his feet.
Yeah, apparently.
Were they like smaller or something?
I guess. I don't know. It's I was looking at like stuff online, and I found like a Wattpad where someone was talking about how when he came back in after the 1991, where he demanded more money, they cut him loose, and then he came back, and then like facial features changed, like the whole shape of his head changed. So I could see why people would be like, this is two different people. And the guy said this theory most people do not believe. Off of some forums I found a lot posted that they knew it was the same guy. Look at his feet. I remember one guy saying, it's like, how is that? They're like staring at his feet. Do they measure out?
Definitely gonna have to make that a segment in the video now. I just put that down in my notes. I put it down as Ultimate Warrior feet size. I just put that down in my Samsung notes. And I'm good. When I see that, I'm gonna remember what I meant by that. But if anybody else sees that, they have no idea what the fuck the purpose of that will be.
Right? They're like, what the hell? Why does Justin have Ultimate Warrior's feet size listed on his phone?
Deadass is just one Samsung notes file. It says nothing but Ultimate Warrior feet size.
So did you ever play Skyrim?
Yeah.
Okay, so I recently got into it on Xbox One, and Sicko, my mod, actually got me into it. And they have a mod where the dragon has the Ultimate Warrior hat on and the boots. No, no, no. Hold
Yes,
on.
I think I
Was
saw.
it the Ultimate
No,
Warrior?
it was the
It's
Macho Man
Macho Man.
dragons.
Sorry, yeah.
I remember that mod. It's so fucking funny because he's flying off in the distance, and you hear the distant dragon sounds that are now Macho Man quotes.
Yeah, yeah, and it's oh yeah.
I've been in the danger zone. No. But it's like mad fucking distant and echoey because it's a fucking dragon.
Oh, dude, the thing I was like, oh, dude, I wonder if they have Ric Flair. And I'm like, I hope they have Ric Flair. And every time the dragon comes up, he's all, woo.
You would be surprised.
They don't. Surprisingly enough, they do not.
Somebody made some. I think it was like a 2D Ric Flair platformer or something.
The things, and so this is a good segue into your most recent stuff. You've gotten away from like the drama and the like political stuff,
Yeah.
and gotten more into internet stories and deep dives from the internet. What made you transition? Was it just a full pivot, or you saw the way the scene was going for commentary, or
What like I always had like a couple of those kinds of videos, and way back when I was started doing them, they wouldn't get as many views as the trending topic videos. But then at a certain point, and I always liked making those videos better, but there just wasn't much interest in them. And at a certain point, I looked into my analytics, and I realized that even though those kinds of videos they weren't getting as many views, they were getting like way more subscribers. So I was like, all right, well, this is what people actually want to stick around for. Because with the political stuff, I guess people, or like even not even necessarily political, just like trending topic commentary,
yeah,
they'll look at your video, but they won't necessarily stick around for it. I guess because really in that scene, you have a lot of people saying the same shit as each other. So really, what's the point in subscribing to somebody like that? So I just started making more of those. And the thing that happens when you have a series like that is if you have a video pop in it, then people will sit and watch the whole series. And when that happens, then YouTube shares your shit fucking everywhere because then it's not just the like, hey, you had a 10-minute video that somebody watched. All of a sudden, you have someone sat and watched like an hour, 2 hours of shit you made, and so it keeps them on the site. And YouTube keeps on making money, so that's what they want to push.
yeah,
So
and
it wound up working out
that's. I
really
mean,
well.
a good example is today I went into your most recent stuff and just kept watching stuff because it's interesting shit, because it's not the political stuff. It's old school stories from the internet, or like the Lavender Town myth from Pokemon and other things I remember from when I grew up,
Mm-hmm.
and just cool like things that are like, oh, I want to get the fuck away from all the political stuff and I just want something to make me laugh or just enjoy hearing a different story than what I'm in and what I talk about. Then I found myself, I probably watched about an hour and a half worth of stuff just sitting in my car having a cigarette.
Yeah, it's an easily bingeable series, and the longer it gets, the more that effect helps.
Yeah,
At the same time, though, like these kinds of videos take way longer to make, so now I've been putting out less content than I used to.
yeah, because it's not like you just have it happen that day. You can talk about it, maybe pull a clip and
Yeah.
interject the clip and then toss in, because I noticed, like, if you watch some of my created content, I do a lot of similarities to you where you drop in video memes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I'm not really a funny guy when it comes to being on the camera. I'm more like I talk. I mean, unless I get really passionate about something, I pretty much talk straightforward and I'll maybe do a different voice and different things. But I mean, I'm pretty flat. So I use commentary videos and goofy videos to add some laughs.
Yeah,
And
it's
sorry, go
no, what
ahead.
were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say I understand where you're coming at, because those videos take me, whether it's the same day or not, it takes me a good 6 hours to produce a video on that.
Yeah, like the commentary stuff you're going more off of just like what you think about a situation. You can do those like within like obviously if you're going to do editing like either of us like were to do, it'll take a little bit longer than a guy who just kind of sits in front of the camera and talks, but still like it's not as long of a process as where you need to have like actual like quotes and facts and stuff like that together, and then the process of editing that together in a way that's it doesn't get boring. That takes longer than just simply like cutting together a reaction video too. So it
Yeah,
becomes like a whole process.
yeah, in produced videos, you have to pull out when you screw up because I don't stop cut myself. I just keep talking and then I'll edit where I need to edit. And Schmeckel just joined and he said,
What up,
"Look,
Schmeckle?
it's the world's third prettiest Asian and a ginger."
Who's above me? Like Amos Yee or some shit?
Oh, gross. Man. If Amos Yee's above you, you might want to watch yourself because he's probably going to try to touch your booty hole.
No, I'm way too old.
Did you watch the Kumite this morning with that fuckboy on?
I didn't. I wanted to too, but I had such shit signal where I was at today.
Oh my god,
Go
dude!
back. I guess I'll watch the clips.
Yeah, if they've clipped it down today, you should watch it.
Clip.
Yeah, so Tonka wasn't around again,
Mhm.
and Schmeckel says Kadunt's mom and especially Kadunt's grandmother, they're the only ones who beat you.
Fair enough.
But no, so Tonka wasn't around because he overslept again, and so he comes in late and he just basically drops the hammer on Amos, and he's like, Amos is like, oh, one of my followers on Twitter want me to say something to you, and Tonka's like, I don't give a shit what you have to say to me. You're a little child molester. I don't care to hear from you, even though Amos isn't one. But when you're saying, you know what, let's not get mad at pedophiles. It's like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like seriously. And Tonka comes in and he's like, hey, Failure, doomsday device, yeah. And then freaking Failure ejects Amos from the stream.
What I love about when they do that is I feel like, especially in the sphere of YouTube, where you're kind of debating different ideas on their merits and whatnot, if you have like a guy like Zangaso just kind of like yelling shit about you about like just what an asshole you are, it totally like it throws people off and they don't know how to deal with it.
Well, and I think that's Tonka's like main appeal is he knows when to get emotional in the sense of loud and throw some emotion out there to fuck with the other person.
Yeah.
And he times it. I mean, if you look at the timing, it's like whenever the person starts, it's a shift in the leanings. Like if the person starts coming up with like something that might counter him, he'll counter by freaking getting a little loud and getting them to get ruffled, and then their argument kind of falls apart because then they start focusing on the fact that he's yelling at them. And it's smart. I mean, they're not. They're trying to high intellect debate against someone who knows how to play their emotions off of them,
Yeah, that's why it gets entertaining. Even though like a lot of people who, as I've said on many streams with many different people, like there's definitely a class of like YouTube follower who like really thinks they're like attending university or something, and they get really upset by those kinds of things. But it's an entertainment platform, and that brings the entertainment.
Oh, it definitely does. And that's why I can stick around like when Tonka's on stream, or even today, Andy was yelling a lot. Andy was freaking yelling at Amos because Andy has
I like when Andy yells because it's so rare.
Yeah, and he it's passionate yelling. You've pissed him off when it's not
like one of those guys.
It's not tactical, it is passionate yelling. And like today, because Andy's been clear about this, he has a past. He's had some shit happen to him when he was a kid with a babysitter, and this is all public knowledge, everyone. So it's not doxing.
It's not being doxed.
No, it's what he's talked about this before himself. He's been through that, and you bring on a guy who is arguing for saying that it's okay, and Andy says, you know what, I've been through it. I did not think it's okay. So you can see the passion well up in him when Amos just starts spinning his yarn, and it was freaking hilarious just to watch Andy like rip at him. And then you have Cog, who's trying to be all high intellect British, And it's just like, dude, like, stop, Cog. Let Andy and yell at Amos, please.
Yeah. I feel like the times I've seen Amos, though, he does play that game a little bit too, where he'll just kind of like play into the emotion or attempt to play into some kind of emotional aspect of it. But
Yeah.
it doesn't seem to work out as well for him because people like that's one of the things that like people will not fucking abide. Like no matter how you spin it.
No, and Jim Medicare actually came on for about 8 to 10 minutes and basically threw a wrench and got Amos to pretty close to admit that he's trolling.
Really?
Like, yeah, you got to find the spot where Medicare comes in.
Like, I feel like every time like Jim says a word, it gets clipped out. So I'm sure that's going to be floating around somewhere.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Like the fact that Jim came on, basically called him out, then Amos went after Jim for being fucking Gamergate and then anti Patreon and stuff and all this shit. So old shit. And
Yeah.
then like there's that little bit, and then he's like, well, Amos, what's gonna be your next hot button topic once the anger gets out of the way with the pedo stuff? And Jim then leaves the stream and he's like, well, I don't know, maybe bestiality. And Andy's like, did you just actually admit that you're kind of trolling? And Jim got him to like Freudian slip multiple times.
I mean, I don't know. Like, this is me not having actually watched it, not having heard the tone of voice, but it sounds like that might have been a sarcastic remark. Like, if I read that, someone having written that down, I would assume he was being sarcastic.
Who, Amos?
Yeah.
Oh, he actually, and then they Andy and them counter-asked, and he had like Weibo Jones on there too. And it's funny to listen to her get a little pissed off at Amos too. But they're like, well, go ahead.
How did Amos Yee get back into the fold? I feel like everybody kind of got bored of that dude months ago. And now he's on streams and shit again.
I don't know what happened. I think he had a website. And maybe he's been pushing it around Twitter and it's coming around people's thing. And maybe, well, I think they planned on Tonka being there initially. And when Tonka, overslept or was doing whatever in the morning, dealing with shit, so since Andy's on there now too, I think Andy, wanted to, basically just run Amos back into the ground because the motherfucker disappeared for a while because he got kicked out of his last house because they found out he was pro pedophilia.
No shit.
Yeah, the person whose room he was renting actually found out that he was pro pedophilia and apparently kicked him out of the house. So there's that. And so maybe he disappeared of his own free will because he didn't have anywhere to connect to the internet at.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too up to date on that particular the Amos Yee lore.
Yeah, that guy, I don't know, man. He's just anyone who has that stance, you got to wonder what their motivation is. Is it because they are who they are? Are they trolling? Or because I think he's just an outrage creator is what he's trying to do. Like, and that's what the gauge I've gotten from the kid. And like, honestly, man, the guy just kind of pushes some like illogical thought under the guise of, oh, I have studies to back it up.
I think what happens too with a lot of people who have this idea that you're just going to go on the internet, make some controversy, and then you're going to somehow get something from it. Like, you can do all this stuff to generate controversy, but you need to have something of substance for it to fall back onto if you want to actually leverage it into anything. Like, I mean, if you look at, like, say, fucking Kanye West, like, he does shit like that. Not obviously not like fucking Amos Yee, but he says shit to stir people up. But then it's because he has something to promote.
He does, and he has something to fall back onto, as you're saying.
Yeah, like a dude like that who, like, it seems like they're trolling in a disingenuous kind of way where it's not even not even necessarily for the joy of trolling, but just to like kind of like raise your social status in a way. But then there's like not anything to use it for. It seems like to me like kind of just like a like not even like an entertaining diversion, just a total waste.
No, and you think that you would pick something that's not going to get the push of pedophilia. You know, you think you wouldn't pick something that could destroy you in life. Because if you come out, let's say someone does a little dive on him because he's looking for a job. I don't know if Amos E is his real name or not, but let's say it is, and they do a background and a social check. They're going to find all that shit. And do you think they're going to want someone who possibly has those views working for them?
Yeah, definitely not. But I don't. I think that dude and people like that dude on some level, I think they kind of like believe they'll never have to like get to that point where they'll need to just get a regular bum ass job.
Yeah, I don't
Like
think
they
so.
think they're gonna be fucking stars.
No, yeah, and that's the e-celeb appeal because, oh, I'm gonna get so big on YouTube and everywhere else. I mean, we're all in it because we either are a little bit egotistical or whatever.
Yeah.
So apparently, Maddox lost the lawsuit.
Oh yeah, I've been knowing that.
What?
That is
What's
actually like before I hopped on the stream, I was watching a Stereos' stream where he kind of broke down what happened in court and whatnot. And
really?
apparently, that lawyer that Maddox had, Maddox didn't come to the court because it's in New York.
Mm-hmm.
But that lawyer, he came in and basically just read the complaints to the judge that were already written in the documents, and he's trying to get the judge to explain what specifically Asterios had done. And
Mm-hmm.
then there was a problem where because like he had named all of the defendants together in the same complaint, all of them being Dick Masterson, Asterios, Patreon, Weber Shanwick, and apparently you can't do that. You have to like you have to bring in the complaint individually and be able to tell people what specifically they are being brought to court for.
Mm-hmm.
So he dismissed all of everything's been dismissed. Against Maddox, dismissed against Maddox. I'm not against Max. Against the complaint against Dick Masterson, Patreon, Weber Shanwick are all dismissed with prejudice, meaning that's the end of it. Against Asterios, it's without prejudice, meaning he could try again, and that's just because Asterios actually lives in New York and the other guys don't live in New York.
Oh. Yeah, and you would think that why would you was it just as because he got a bad lawyer and that's why he
The more I look at this thing, the more I think that this guy kind of got in Maddox's ear. I tried to just take him for a fucking ride. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna sue these guys for millions of dollars. Don't you worry, just trust me." And he's literally a fucking Lionel Hutz in real life.
really.
Yeah, like it's mind blowing how incompetent this guy is.
Hold on, so Rucka Ali is pro Maddox?
He was on Maddox's he was his old co-host on Maddox's podcast after the one he did with Dick Masterson. He
Really?
left that podcast recently.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I think Rucka did unfollow me though because I was shitting on Maddox. So like I'm sure like they're like he
They're still somewhat friendly or something.
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't know much about him. I heard about it, but I was like, I don't. The problem is like outside of like my political stuff, I kind of don't dive into the internet, and I need to start. Like,
Yeah, it's funny that like a lot of people their reaction to the Maddox videos that I made were like that guy they didn't know he was still a thing. It's that kind of shit. But then you'll see people who are like in the scene, like to a lot of people, and Maddox was like highly influential. He definitely like he probably had like a big influence on me. I was a big Maddox fan, maybe like up until like maybe a few years ago.
Yeah.
And he and I would read all his articles on his website. I think it was the best fucking thing ever. And then you'll see him like popping up with like all kinds of like other like people who are kind of in this universe who he almost certainly had an influence on. And it's crazy to kind of see like the shift he's made over the past few years.
Yeah, is he pushed out like more like is he just changed his personality and he became more of an asshole? Is that why people saw this big push?
There's a lot of different aspects of it. Like a lot of it like specifically to the shit he did to Dick Masterson.
Yeah.
He did the last episode of their podcast together without him, without telling him it was going to be without him. He's just without any mention of him. Thanked everybody on the show except for Dick. Because I think in his head it was kind of it wasn't a show. It wasn't their show. It was Maddox's show that had Dick on it. He took a thread from 8chan, said that it was like someone had made like a Dick Masterson section of 8chan, and they had posted something about a rape list, women who should be raped or something like that. And he tried to say that Dick, because of that post that someone made on an 8chan section, like I don't use 8chan that much. I don't know what the fuck you would call the an 8chan board, but someone had made anybody can fucking make a post like that on any fucking 8chan board. But he was trying to say that that was Dick maintaining that list, and he did that in a video where he publicly tried to smear them against mutual friends, and all these kinds of things. A lot of it just adds up to him being a scumbag and being like becoming like the opposite of the kind of person that people kind of looked up to him as being, blocking everyone who like shits on him. The guy who used to fucking proudly publish his hate mail, suddenly having like block bots. Not only having block bots, because when the lawsuit came up, he at some point he tried to make some sort of weird restraining order where if anybody made fun of him, Dick Masterson would be held responsible because he in his head like everyone that's making fun of him because of this is doing it because Dick commanded them to.
Oh, sorry. That guy just sounds a little freaking like egotistical and crazy.
Yeah, like there's like I've been following this so closely for the past few years, especially since the podcast they had before. The biggest problem in the universe is like when it was on, it was my favorite fucking podcast. Like it was the best fucking thing. And then it just kind of devolved into this whole mess. And there's so much shit to follow. Like those 3 videos, I had to make 3 videos of it. And that's just like a tiny snippet. Like Aiden Paladin had like a good breakdown of everything that happened like leading up to the breakup. Oh yeah, a key point of this is like part of like why they broke up was because Dick started dating Maddox's ex-girlfriend, and like that was like a big part of that. Like there's so many things. Who else did one? Easy Peasy, the Encyclopedia Dramatica mod. He had like a really long one. Digibro, actually, the most recent like big overall breakdown of what went down is probably Digibro's video.
You have to check that out because I was looking at the Dick Show Wikipedia, and there's just some funny shit in there of like what happened in conversation with all of the allegations and videos and different things that you can find out about, because I'm out of the loop on it. I know who Maddox is. I've seen his old stuff, but like now I'm just like, what's going on? No, I saw the LOL suit and I was kind of digging into that, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like the lawsuit was the big event. Actually, it kind of like it makes it even more amusing that he kind of did this thing to, I guess, to prove legally that he's the good guy in this whole situation. And it made so many fucking people who didn't realize, who would have never like realized what was going on with this dude, that he's actually kind of a fucking scumbag.
Yeah, and it's funny when you find out like things that might just be fun to catch up on, because you know what? One thing for me is I really like looking at legalities, and I was almost like I have my degree in marketing. I almost went into school for law, specifically like business and copyright law, and really enjoy like the like arguing legalities and stuff like that. And so it'll be fun to watch because one, it's YouTube related and YouTube
Yeah.
and internet centric, and then two, it's a lawsuit. You know, it's something that actually I enjoy looking at.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, you should look at Nick Rekieta's breakdowns because he literally took every single fucking document that came up in this case, and there's a lot of them, and he broke all of them down on stream.
Rekieta.
R E yeah, Rekieta.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah,
Law
yeah. There's
explaining.
I see like a 32-minute video uploaded by the Dick Show.
That's like oh yeah, he appeared on the Dick Show, and he but his channel, it's like he'll have like an hour-long video breaking down every single one of these files. And he branched out into stuff like he was covering the Poppy lawsuit. At some point he did the James Damore situation.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
he does a lot of like the lawsuit and legality stuff.
Yeah, like he just started basically. Like he was very involved in the Dick Show like fan base. So he kind of originally he just made the stream to kind of explain the shit to us who have no idea what the fuck's going on. But then he kept on doing it and then just started branching out because people were liking his shit.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna check him out right now and get on his freaking. Oh, he's an actual lawyer too.
Yeah,
By
he's
the way.
literally a lawyer.
Oh, law explaining the interwebs. That's actually a freaking catchy freaking clip, like thought for his channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, his thumbnails can use some work, but God, he's got that goofy ass like freaking
That
comic
cartoon
book
style.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to check him out. And then so because we were talking about like you coming on to YouTube about 2 years ago now. Well, and then you did the kind of the pivot to away from the hot button or the now stuff. What brought you personally to YouTube? Because I always find it curious to hear people's what made them start a channel story, you know?
Honestly, it was part of the appeal of it to me. Like I was on tour a lot for a period of time. Like I was touring with bands. Like I would be on tour like 6 months, 7 months out of the year,
Mm-hmm.
and I needed things that I could do that like wouldn't tie me to being home with a regular job. Like my income has been for like probably like the past like 5, 6 years, just of a patchwork of different side hustles. And then at the same time YouTube, like was thinking of like originally I wanted to do like a guitar channel. Then I wound up starting it as it was a let's play channel. I figured like this is something that I can grow while I'm on the road and potentially turn into some kind of like side business or whatnot. But then obviously like I just kept on like trying different things. I did really well with the hot button issues for a little bit, but then it kind of plateaued. And at the same time, I found them to be like very stressful to try to like, oh, this thing happened. I got to get my video out before anybody else gets it out. Blah blah blah. I don't really have that same concern anymore with the kinds of topics I cover.
That's cool, and that's what I ran into. And with the fact that you put a lot of work into a what's it called, a video, and the editing and the producing of it, and then maybe it doesn't get results. And so that's why I've kind of pivoted a little bit. I'll still do creation on Thursdays, sometimes Wednesdays, depending on how I feel, of actual, long form videos or 10-minute videos that aren't just conversations. I've pivoted to the conversations because I like to interact with people who are in the community also, or in the political sphere, and just hear their stories and interview, basically, like, because I enjoy this more. There's more fun in talking with people and hearing where they come from and their political views and their world views, and just shit talking than a lot of the other stuff. And I don't want to jump into the IBS where it's like, let's scream at each other and debate. I'd rather hear people's ideas, maybe challenge them a little bit, but not to the point where I piss people off and they don't want to come on my channel,
Yeah. I don't know. I would have no problem going on a blood sports stream. Like I do, like sometimes,
You do.
just like, but like casually. I wouldn't fucking mind getting into it with somebody like that, but I don't really have like any beef with anybody at the moment. So like it's just like a non-starter.
Well, and I wouldn't mind getting on a show with somebody and interacting and in a debate platform like that. But I think for my channel, I wouldn't want it to be the hard hit debates.
Yeah.
Maybe someone has, like, I'd love to get a progressive, like a hyper sensitive progressive on here and just challenge some of their ideas in a normal talking voice and interact with them and present some different ideas maybe they didn't even think of,
Yeah. I mean, I think there definitely is a void for that kind of a person right now. The like the far left person who's willing to kind of get in the mud on the blood sport streams and whatnot.
Well,
Like
and that's the thing, is they won't go into the blood sports. I'm centrist, but there's no one on the progressive side because they're worried about their optics,
Yeah, exactly. Like I think literally the only person I can think of who's jumped into a stream like that, I think like David Sherratt, like he did a stream like that and did well. And that Bronx blogger dude, I think I saw him do that once, and then he made a video like talking about how he doesn't want to do it anymore, like he didn't because it was a bad experience or whatever. But I feel like there's a void there. Like somebody will rise to the occasion. I mean, it won't be me because I'm not a far leftist, but
yeah, me neither.
Somebody.
And someone does need to fill it. Someone willing to go in and fight for their ideals, but I mean, you could have had a Baked Alaska when he still worked for BuzzFeed do it before he became a ethno nationalist and other things. Cynics is all just make up some beef. Blood sports does that. Yeah, me and you, Whang, in the Kumite just yelling at each other for no reason.
Oh man, fake beef is like super fucking cringy when you had like fake beef. Like there was this fad that was happening for a bit that you would keep seeing like these bands getting into Twitter fights.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh shit, like this guy said something about this guy in a band, and blah, 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 and hype it up. And at the end of the day, it'd be like, haha, just kidding, we're going on tour together. And they post their flyer. Like that was happening so fucking much. To the point where, and if anyone had like some kind of legitimate beef, people are like, oh, I guess the tour announcement's coming.
Just to build the hype. And like the Kanye getting mad and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't really think I did see any like fake blood sports beef really that I could think of.
And Serena, yes, he was at one point. He came out of BuzzFeed. Baked Alaska did. He's bounced both spectrums. So Jason says
what you're saying is he's on the spectrum.
Yeah, he's on the spectrum, and he's bounced around the political spectrum. So Jason tells us that you were in the sack with Hayden Panettiere.
Oh yeah. It's I was an extra in this Lifetime movie where like she I guess like the situation is like her character is like this kind of like upscale lawyer type chick. She goes to a dive bar, and then like I'm the guy she wakes up next to.
Oh, dude, you're kidding me, right?
No, that ass. Like it's called Custody.
She hot as fuck in real life?
She's really cool.
Was she actually cool?
Yeah, she was really cool. Like what happened was like it's a job at the end of the day, and like
Of
I was
course.
still like pretty like new to doing. I mean, that's like pretty much the only thing I had ever done like that to this date, working as an extra, and you want to like give them what they want, but at the same time you don't want to like cross a line you didn't know was there to cross and like never fucking work again. So
Yeah.
at first, because like the whole thing is like the situation is like the phone rings, she's on the phone, I wake up, and then like I'm trying to like bang again or something like that. So I had to like get on top of her and like get in her face, and then her reaction is like, "Oh, you're still here?" It's that kind of thing. But like, I'm like, holy, I'm like in bed with Hayden Panettiere, and I don't want to like violate. So the director keeps on going like, no, no, you gotta get into it more. You're trying to go. And then she goes to me. She's like, yeah, don't mind that my husband is the heavyweight boxing champion of the world, and I gave him your address, and he knows where you live. Don't worry about that. Just like as a joke, it was cool.
Okay, because she's married to Klitschko, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus. How in the fuck did they end up together? One and two, like that's freaking hilarious. Like, was if he's just hanging out on the set, like
No,
waiting
he
to
wasn't
beat
hanging
you
out. She just like said that in passing as a joke.
That's freaking awesome, dude. But that's funny that like you've actually done some because you do music as well, right?
Yeah,
You're in a band or are you a studio artist?
band. Right now, I'm in a band called Jinx, where actually I really want to start doing vlogs from the band channel because I've been wanting to do vlogs more, and the kind of stuff I make. If I just one day put up a vlog, people will be like, "What the fuck's going on here? Like, this isn't what I subscribed for." So the band thing, you can kind of get away with it more, I think. And plus, it gives me a chance to like put the camera on other fucking people and not have to worry so much about playing what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. And so
Which
what kind of music are you guys?
metal band.
Okay, nice.
This metal band actually does have like it's kind of like a very like a new metal vibe, like a little bit of hip hop influence in there. It's like that kind of new metal band. It's basically like a heavier version of that.
That's cool. What's your focus? Are you guitar?
Yeah, on guitar.
Okay. That's awesome, dude. I didn't know that. I mean, I see all your guitars in the back, but people have set pieces and shit and I mean, that could be easily enough that you collect some guitars.
Yeah, that happens. These ones here, actually, the ones I have like hanging out in the back. I don't use those live. I just keep those at home. The ones I actually use live, they're chilling in my guitar player's garage right now. These ones, I just got a Fender. I actually do have a guitar channel that I've used these on,
Yeah.
but I haven't really done anything with that. I made some Instagram videos and re-uploaded them to YouTube.
Well, and honestly, like, I mean, you kind of have your channel going where it's going. You're sitting around what, like 60 or so now, 1,000 subscribers, and I mean,
Yeah,
your content's working. You're getting good results, and like, I mean, I dig it. Like, I'm sure. I
nice.
mean, you have people who've been around a long time, like Jason and others, who obviously dig what you're doing. And I think the pivot was good because you know what, it's nice to get away from the political garbage and actually see someone doing something slightly original, the 4chan Reddit stuff and pulling stories out of there.
Yeah, I
So
mean it's weird too. Sometimes I worry with this that I'm just gonna run out of shit to talk about, but then I've spent so many nights in my life just like laying in bed looking shit up when I should be sleeping, and that's kind of what this is amounted to now. So I have like all of those years to play off of. And plus new shit pops up all the fucking time too.
yeah, the it's the internet. There's always going to be something new added to it.
Oh god, I saw Matt in the chat said ask him about QAnon.
What's
That's like
what's what's that?
it's like some cringy LARP that boomers love. Like some guy on 4chan comes in and makes a bunch of vague predictions about things Trump's doing, and it's like he's an insider and he knows all these secrets. Even he'll make predictions and they don't come true, but people explain why actually they did come true. It's kind of like, you know why boomers love it, because it's basically like a fucking horoscope that sounds like it's official.
So
Yeah,
they
like
just post like cringe shit for, you know, old people.
if you go on Twitter and like look up the hashtag QAnon, you'll find like everybody who, like every edgy boomer who probably like who's like sharing like 2016's MAGA memes, like they love that shit. Like you'll find like lots of people with like avatars that look like they're a photograph of a gas station T-shirt, like those kinds of people.
And then there's people with the actual Q logo as their logo. What the fuck? There we go. Mr.
Yeah, I think QAnon is an op to get boomers to ruin 4chan. That's what QAnon is.
See, Matt lives on the boards a little more than I do, right? Matt, you get on the boards too and check out the things. I've never really dug into 4chan, 8chan, any of that stuff because I don't know what I would be getting myself into. What?
He just goes, yeah.
Yeah. And keck. See, I haven't. You've deep dived them a bit for videos and stuff? No.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of thing. I used to be like a really heavy 4chan user, like around like 06 through 08. That's probably like the peak of me like using it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Then I feel like around the time the Project Chanology stuff started, it started to get a little cringy, and I found myself using it less.
Yeah, and so have you jumped over to 8chan or anything?
I take a look at it sometimes, and sometimes I would look at 420chan when I was. They used to have like a 420chan. I haven't been on there in a couple of years now that I think about it, but they had some good like wrestling discussions on there.
Jesus. Yeah, yeah, I was just looking at poll right now because honestly, I've never like really dived into it and stuff. It's funny how like there's just some of the most cringiest shit you see. And
yeah, I'm not saying the cow board. That's basically, to me, like that's the main part of 8chan that I have. Pretty much the only thing I actually ever look at on there. But then like you have Kiwi farms too, so it kind of they both kind of serve the same purpose. I guess you can get away with a little bit more on 8chan than on Kiwi farms, but
yeah,
you got both of them.
And see, I pissed off some of the anime avatars with a conversation I had with someone, Thomas Ellington. We were talking
Thomas
about
Ellington. Wait,
yeah,
when we streamed, didn't he jump on the cunt stream when we were both?
Yeah, he was. I actually brought him in on that because some of the stuff we were talking about he knew about, and I wanted to bring in like briefly. And then me and him actually did a stream together, and we were talking about the shit that some of the anime avatars are doing and other stuff. And they're the cow. Some of them are from Cow and like all over Discord. Dude, they actually took my stream and posted it on the board. And if you look at that stream, I think it sits at like 18, 19 downvotes and like 15 upvotes. So they actually, and then the anime avatar started like commenting on my video to fucking just give me shit, like talking shit about Thomas and me. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like I just avoided them, didn't even like respond because it just, it gives them what they want,
Yeah, I always see people like, I'll see like on the Blood Sports thread, I'll see like Scrubs, his streams will get posted and people get pissed off about that. But I didn't see like that like leaking into like other stuff too much.
Yeah, like Aqua and Tiwi and when you see Caitlyn Jenner, they all anime nibba, they all freaking started spamming shit on my thread, taking like certain context of situations where I was just like, you know, by putting someone's docs out there, potentially that person could get swatted, blah, blah, blah. And they took and were trying to spin it as if I was saying the anime avatars are swatting people. And then they're like, that's defamation and stuff. And I'm just sitting back here and I'm laughing because Tonka, Vamp, some others are like, I'm warning you, you're going to get some shit for that video because you're having a conversation about things they don't want talked about. And so I laughed about it. And then it just started happening. Actually, I'm going to be talking with Tonka soon, and there was someone swatted today.
Really?
Yeah, and
Ooh.
I'm not going to dive into it because he's going to be talking about it, and I gave him my
Gotcha.
word that I wouldn't dive hard into it. But someone
Oh, this is
was
like something that's like not like known.
not yet.
Oh.
Yeah, swatting was so 2015, Matt. Especially after you found, like, where was that kid? He was in California, right? The one who swatted someone and they got killed over Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, that was
Not too long ago.
Oh, months ago. Yeah, Keemstar interviewed that guy, I think. Yeah, I remember he's on the phone with the dude who swatted the guy, and the guy is just like making up a bunch of excuses. Like you could see like the frustration. Like the guy who swatted the guy and like wound up dying, the guy who wound up having the guy killed, basically, has no like perspective of the idea that he caused someone to die. Like he doesn't get it.
Yeah, he doesn't. It's like, well, I wasn't thinking of that. I don't know, just people in that mentality. But it's funny to talk to like different people when, as much as I try not to be, like I do a lot of stuff on the internet, but most of my stuff falls into the political spectrum and stuff. And a lot of the shit I do is very normie stuff versus like some people who dive into boards and other stuff and have like actual interaction on the poll channel and the different lolcow stuff. It's weird to talk to people who've actually been into that stuff and seen those boards, because to me it's like, like and you have people coming out about like Kiwi Farms being deep web and shit, and I'm like, dude, I even know that that's not deep web.
It's not.
Not at all. Like
you could type that shit into Google and it brings it up.
Exactly. You remember this Candace Owens shit?
Oh, which one? The doxing thing?
Yeah, when she was talking about how her information was put on Kiwi Farms and the deep web when she was on Rubin Report, freaking against Blair White.
Oh fuck yeah! Like what's his fucking I think it was Harmful Opinions. Like he had tweeted about that. Like he tweeted the clip of her like saying some shit like that.
Yeah, well, she's all over the place. That chick's a fucking, I don't know what you want to call her, but she's not a conservative. She's not a liberal. I don't know what the fuck she is, but she's all over the place. She goes where the money is.
She took the green pill.
Yeah, she's a Green Party, 100% Green Party. The money where she can make money. Because it's not even that she's not doing YouTube anymore, is she? Like I don't see her doing YouTube.
She's like on Fox News and shit like that.
And she did what? Like fucking, like it's almost like Kanye
tweeted about her. That's what she did.
Yeah, well, and I mean now
she had a viral video or some shit like that.
Yeah, she has freaking 215,000 subscribers and 25 videos. Like what? You did oh, she actually does still do videos. She did a video 5 days ago, apparently. Wow.
She's like, I just view her as like being a part of that world now. It's like appealing to boomer conservatives.
Yeah, and being the like minority spokesperson for the Conservative Party is what she's pitched. I mean, I'm pretty conservative. I lean right 100% of the time, but this chick is just using something. No, she's extremely main point. Like, she didn't just make a bad mistake. She left it up, Matt. I hate to tell you that. She knew and actually had said that she stopped it and left it open source and had all the data, and the data's there. I mean, you could do deep dive research on this chick. Yeah, I know she does director for Turning Point USA, but the only reason she does it is because of the brand she's built. And the brand she's built goes from being a hardcore SJW who wants to put kids, I'm talking kids, their Facebook information on the internet with their personal school and other stuff on there for kids because they bully someone. I don't think that's very smart. One, because God only knows what happens to those kids, whether they're a bully or not. And two, she just spins narrative what's best for her. She jumped on the Kanye situation. She was at the TMZ offices with him when he had that conversation. Like, did you watch that whole video, Whang?
What, the Kanye at TMZ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did watch. I watched the version they played, and then I saw the unedited version.
Yeah. So she was there. She actually chimes in at one point, but I would not hold it against her, Matt, if she wasn't playing a role. I really think she's playing a role for how much she downplays it, how much she doesn't own it, and how much she just kind of pivoted without owning her bullshit. And the way she handled herself on the Rubin Report when someone who was calling her out, she didn't handle herself well. She's playing for the green team. She just wants to make money. And if, it becomes popular to go back to being a Democrat, she probably would. She's baked Alaska, like, in a lot of regards. But
actually, that made me think. I saw a tweet with that Vice article that came out about her old website that's like posting all kinds of like anti-Trump stuff. And I looked at like some articles in the Internet Archive, and she's saying things like Republicans are stuck in the 50s. And it's like from like 2-3 years ago. And then Tariq Nasheed quote tweeted Vice's article, and he's like, that's why I support her, because I know she's just taking these white supremacists for their money.
Yeah, that's the funny thing that Tariq always says to any conservative black person. It doesn't matter if it's Kanye or whoever. He always says, oh, I respect the hustle, man. I respect the hustle. I know you just over there getting those white people's money. That motherfucker, dude. He is so funny. Like, I don't know. Have you dug into him or any of his like web stuff?
I've kind of caught glimpses of him, but I never dug too deeply into it because I just kind of found it kind of boring.
Yeah, it's the pivot narrative and the fact that he's just pushing one ID and one thought process. But it's funny to watch the memes that came out of him, like the wash your ass meme and stuff.
Wash your ass. Do you hear? Actually, like, I think I only heard about it because Derek, some black guy, like, he made a video about Tariq's fucking funk song that he put out, that like soul music shit he did a few months ago, and it's actually a pretty good song.
Really? I have not heard it. I follow some black guy, but haven't watched it.
He had a video about it, and then the actual song, like, you're gonna hear the song and you're gonna hate yourself because it's not bad.
And then I realized if I don't know who it is, then maybe I wouldn't mind it. But then I know it's Tariq Nasheed, and it's just like he's a character to say the least. Like, I mean, he went from freaking street hustler pimping hoes to freaking super liberal, like black nationalist, essentially.
I guess that's why he says he gets the hustle.
Shit, he does get the hustle. And he respects those people's hustle by, apparently pivoting because they can't be conservative and black at the same time in his eyes. So I was curious, aside from music and the YouTube stuff, is that your primary, what you do with your day? Or do you have something else that your projects you work on, or are you still doing acting and stuff?
It's like I said, like my whole schedule. It's kind of like like a patchwork of side hustles. So I'll do the extra thing, like I was doing today, or a couple of the other days you wanted to do. I had bookings for those,
Mm-hmm.
but then like half that job is trying to find other jobs, and then sometimes some days I'll work on a video. Then, like I said, these videos are taking longer and longer to make.
Yeah, because you
So
have a lot of investigation to do with your new direction.
yeah, so it's kind of a combination of those two main things. I had like some other stuff. I was like flipping things on eBay for a while. Um, I was doing like ghostwriting for a bit.
Really, like
Like
music,
actually,
or what were you
no,
ghostwriting?
like shitty blog posts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but like that one I haven't really fucked with for a while because I mean, I was probably like at this point like 2 or 3 years ago. Google had they had changed their algorithm to make those kinds of things less profitable. So I had like at some point there's this dude who was dropping like a couple grand a month for like just like a shit ton of fucking technology related articles, and then that algorithm changed and he fucking disappeared, and the bottom kind of fell out of that market for me at least.
Yeah. So you know what who you kind of remind me of, and with the finding different kinds of work, doing YouTube, the side hustle is Roberto Blake, dude. You know how he always talks
Yeah,
about,
I know Roberto Blake. I on 100% get Roberto Blake. I
yeah,
feel
and
like he's
the
very
side hustle and everything he pivots and pushes and everything. Dude, I love the guy. I think he is very intelligent and a
yeah.
smart guy.
He was like I was kind of shitting on him too for a little bit for when all this shit was happening with unmonetization and people find themselves depressed in the algorithm, and people were saying, "Oh, my video gets unmonetized, then my video gets hidden because of that." And he was consistently saying, "No, that's not true. That it couldn't possibly work that way because of different things with how the ad system works." And I was like, man, this guy is like such like a shill for like YouTube right now. He's just kissing ass. But then if you look at like the more recent developments on like what we know about the rating system that was hidden
Yeah.
compared and how it's like not actually connected to AdSense or monetization, he was 100% right.
Yeah, it doesn't affect actual monetization, but it does affect
Yeah.
channel
Like
views.
there's a correlation, like certain things that might get you rated to a more restricted category might also cause unmonetization, but getting unmonetization in and of itself doesn't affect it,
No, exactly.
which is what he was saying.
And he was right. The only thing is I think what people's big talking point with all of this stuff is they just hide too much shit from us. And I
Yeah,
understand why they do it. They don't want the bad actors and the Russian fucking kid TV show stuff to keep spewing out and
yeah,
catching them in their ass. But dude, like they got to open up a little or else they're never going to have the trust of the creators.
yeah. Like there's a difference between like not saying how the algorithms work so you can't game the system and being like, hey, like, am I allowed to do the thing that I'm doing? Can I at least like know like what I'm rated without having to go through all kinds of weird back channels?
Exactly. Or opening up an AdSense account and running ads on your own page like Nerd City did.
Yeah,
Like it's there. And so when you put up a piece of a video or content, the rating should populate because it populates for people who are running ads. And I mean, it doesn't populate visually, but they can know. And the fact that I think Philly D talked about it, they're testing it with creators that um, H3 was actually the one who talked about it, where you can click on and off what things are in your video. So if there's some swearing, but you would rate it PG-13, then you click, some language and stuff like that. They're actually testing it with the bigger things, so you aren't hit by the algorithm if you precursory put it out there so that way they can rate your video accordingly.
Actually, and I saw Mark in the chat talking about BitChute today, actually, and now I'm like looking this guy up because I don't know if he's actually a representative of Steemit. But today I got an email from a guy saying he was very impressed with my Max Headroom video and saying I might be interested in using Steemit.
What's I have a BitChute. I just have it where it populates my YouTube videos straight over there. I don't ever check it. I haven't checked it in some time, but it's like a backup in case my channel ever goes down is how I use it.
Yeah. Now I'm like looking at it. Now I'm looking at this email. He gave me there's a link that says steemit.com/@Whang, made in March of 2018. I don't know that I made this. There might be someone in person. I don't know. Let me check my email thing because sometimes I'll make accounts and forget about them.
Steemit's gone, man. The site is temporarily available. It's just Steam IT.
No, steemit.com. It's like a YouTube-like platform. I think it's like one of those like decentralized type social media platforms.
Oh, got it. I found it. I was spelling. It's not spelled like Steam. Freaking Steam.
Yeah,
It's
Steam. STEM.
Well, isn't that is that the one where they pay you in blockchain?
Yeah.
And you get based on your views and other stuff like that. Your video gets up votes and stuff. It's more like Facebook, but you get paid on it, correct?
Yeah, in cryptocurrency.
But does it have one of those situations where you can only pull it out after X amount of time, or like what I'd be curious about is if they put a number and you can see it right on the front, like this one's 661.64 based on upvotes, comments, all that stuff. Are they running background? Like, you know how that thing was happening with the YouTube ad where it was using people's
where it's like using it to mine and shit.
Yeah, I was using people's processor to mine.
Yeah. I actually had a video about that for a while ago, like a while back, because it was happening on I forgot now. It was like it might have been like the Showtime or one of those premium channels websites.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it necessarily works like that. I have very little faith in any of these alternate social media sites. Because at the end of the day, like the only people those sites are really going to attract are the people who really care a lot about them, and that's not a big portion of the audience. It's like a fraction of the people who actually watch YouTube. It would be nice if everyone was interested in going to an alternate platform, but they're just not. They won't be unless it's not enough to just be an alternative or to be like, oh, we're all about free speech or anything like that. Like, you need features. That's what gets the people, is features that like they enjoy using, that are new, that you can't get elsewhere. Because the more social media platforms you get to, the more of a burden it becomes to kind of regrow your presence on them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, even just transitioning from my personal social media stuff, which I have locked down because of shit that happens in the YouTube community with doxing and shit, versus my persona or my, account and my creator side of stuff. It's been a massive shift trying to, grow this side of me versus my personal stuff because of people I know and other interactions,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Steam's not bad. I was looking at the price index, it's up 4%. So, I mean, I guess you could, do what you do and make some money just throwing your shit on there. Because you don't have to shift to the platform. You can just upload your stuff there and let it be, I guess.
There's one thing that I think has a chance of succeeding, and if Pornhub decided to break off into non-porn content. And you kind of saw the start of that when gun YouTubers were going to Pornhub and Pornhub was basically like welcoming that. If that were to grow into something else, Pornhub has the infrastructure. They have the like everything that you would need to build a YouTube alternative that a lot of the smaller ones simply don't have. They have the money, the technology, the staff. They could, if they wanted to, they could give it a shot.
Yeah, you know who actually? God damn it! I need to keep an eye on stuff. Like Litecoin jumped like a motherfucker, and I should have sold when it jumped. Because I have freaking like a couple $100 on there that I bought a while back, and it would have been nice to make some extra money that way. But there's people actually going over there, like the YouTube Saints are actually talking about opening up a streaming platform on Pornhub because you can do it. You just won't be porn related, and if they draw an audience, they draw an audience. You know.
I believe, and I'm not 100% clued in on how their system works, but I think on Pornhub you can get up to like a 90% revenue share or something like that, depending.
Really?
That's I might have misunderstood what I read, and I'm sure there's tiers of it, but that's something I've seen that is possible with their platform.
Yeah, that'd be interesting because to see like how it works and people, you know, opening accounts over there and how they, well, I mean, they have to be massive for the amount of porn they store. You know, they have to be at the YouTube equivalent.
Yeah, and that they make so much fucking money over there. Like, I believe that porn ads pay like way more than a regular ad does, and there's tons of fucking traffic.
Well, and porn ads aren't gonna fucking care what their shit's next to.
Exactly. They're not going to be like, oh, this guy said something offensive. Like, get these dicks off of here.
Yeah, no shit. Or they say the word cunt and it, you know, demonetizes them or something, you know? Like it's not the family friendly site, so you have to dumb down your stuff to the freaking, you know, 10-year-old level. It's porn. You can put whatever the fuck you want on there.
Yeah, I mean, the challenge for them, I think, would be integrating it in a way that doesn't alienate the people who are kind of who don't want anything but the porn. But I feel like that's like not like that much of a challenge. You know, I guess you get into that mindset when you're all done and you're like, all right, I'm ready to be a fucking normal human being again. And they're like, hey, here's a gun video. Why not? That looks interesting.
Yeah, or like okay, so they watch what you're like their algorithm or whatever, or their suggestions watches what you're clicking on, and then you have a stop point where you watch through the whole video or whatever, and they figure you're drop dead done doing your business, male or female, whatever. You're done with your business, and so they could, you know, maybe toss in something like one of those 2A videos or a commentary video and see the response rate of people who click on that because they've handled their business. But I know as most male, when we tend to have and finish that situation, most people want to take a nap or have a cigarette.
Oh, I wish I would want to take a nap. I could fucking fix my weird sleep schedule.
You know what's funny though is it's weird that there are people who don't, because the simple fact that the reason why a lot of people get tired after sex and sex activity is because the human body has to reproduce the lost semen and other things, and it uses sleep to do that.
So that means either I'm constantly ready to go, or I'm constantly gonna shoot out fucking powder.
Your body's just churning them out all the time. So you just, I mean, one day
it's like Arnold in Pumping Iron. It's like I'm coming day and night.
I don't know if Arnold would be, you know, a good example for pro. I'm not giving examples. It's actual scientific evidence out there. I've seen it and I've read a book on it when I used to work at Barnes and Noble. It's like why men need sleep after sexual activity. And like,
wait, why are you reading books about coming on the job?
Well, one, because there's so many different things, and it just caught my eye. It was like it wasn't just about coming, it was about different things about men and stuff. And so I was flipping
Okay.
through it, and that was one of the chapters, was talking about sexual activity and the male libido and stuff, and why lots of men go to sleep after sex or want to take a nap or feel knocked the fuck out after sex. And it's not just the, it did catch my eye, Matt. Not just the ready to go gung ho. You know, they're worn out and just want to fucking chill. It's not the like caloric burn or anything, the calories burned. It's because your body needs to, you know, reproduce your lost soldiers, the million of them.
Like cement.
I am digging. I am doing market research because I'm planning on opening up a Pornhub. You know,
A Pornhub.
I'm gonna open up a Pornhub account, dude. I mean, if I can make money over there faster than here, and they're not porn based, I'll just fucking throw on all my old content and commentary and see how it does.
Imagine Pornhub just starts being populated by fucking porn reaction channels.
Oh my god, dude! I think you found your niche, dude.
That's just ruining every fucking website with shit content.
Clickbait porn. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the thumbnail, and the rolling thumbnail is like some chick just getting blasted in the face, and then they come into the content, and it's like 5 seconds of that, and then it's your face talking.
Type Fortnite into it somehow.
Right. Yeah, like Ollie Yee or whatever his name is, that guy who fucking baits the shit out of his Fortnite videos with Marvel superheroes and stuff.
I mean, you could do on Pornhub what the people on YouTube pretend they're going to do.
Yeah, and then have it actually done.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're a Twitch streamer, because then you'd be banned off the website.
Yeah. They'll find out about your Pornhub activities.
Yeah.
Twitch Gestapo.
Yeah, I don't understand how they can control that. And then what if they have these booby streamers who want to go actually be booby streamers, and they're doing like Cam Hub or one of those cam sites, and they come across it, or someone hears about it, or it gets spread, they're automatically banned from their website because they actually pop their tits out instead of just massive amounts of cleavage.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
I don't know, man. So, like, you're basically signing away the contract to fucking freedom of speech with Twitch. Someone said from schlong to Whang, that could be your catchphrase.
What, for the Pornhub channel?
Yeah, from schlong to Whang.
Wait, what? What? I'm looking in the chat now. Matt, y'all see Bake Alaska's sweet errand girl flicking the bean on Periscope.
Dude, that actually happened because Ralph Retort showed the clip but blurred it, and you can see her, just her face, her reactions.
Oh, wait, was that the thing that got his channel struck?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's why he's hosting over on Failure's channel.
Yeah, okay.
And Matt knows about it because he freaking pounded one out to it. You weren't on Ralph's stream. You were fucking watching the Periscope, man. You were super stoked. I heard that, and this is from them talking about it on other channels, because I didn't see the Ralph stream, that she actually balled something up after the fact. People were talking about how vaginal yeast.
Oh no, it's LA. They do shit like that up there. It's gonna make a fucking loaf of bread out of it, probably. It's good for you.
She picked her ass and balled it up and smelled. What?
Oh.
No. Fucking dude, I swear that girl's on some crazy ass drugs, or she's just massively bipolar, dude. Like, that girl has some massive mental issues.
I mean, she's like a person who like moved to LA, right?
I think so.
People who move to LA are fucking looking for something. And most of the time they don't fucking find it, and it drives them crazy. Same thing with people who move to New York. But I feel like LA gets like a different, way more extreme brand of it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. There are like, I mean, if you, especially if you aim for the core city, because I live in Los Angeles, but I live on the outskirts
Mm-hmm.
and suburbia, and I don't, I don't see a lot of that around here. But you go into the city and into the valley, like where all the porn out here is made, you'll find the crazy fuckers all over the place, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think of like Dick Masterson. He's in LA, and he'll host a show and call it the City of Broken Dreams.
Yeah.
Call LA the City of Broken Dreams, and it makes so much sense. Like when you travel around there, like I have only the longest I ever spent in LA was like a week, and I remember so clearly. I was there with one of my old bands. We were printing out flyers for a show. And we went to this print shop, and the guy who was running the print shop had like the most like amazing radio voice. Like he's telling us about like fucking black and white or color, two-sided or one-sided, and it sounds like a fucking commercial for a print shop. The way this guy is like crystalline clear voice is telling to us, and we're just like, fuck. This guy definitely came to LA to be a presenter of some sort, and it didn't work out for him. And now he's like an old man using this fucking golden voice at a fucking print shop. Like that's just like what how it worked out for him in life.
Yeah, and I think you do have a lot of people who I don't know if they just have that mentality of, oh, it's Hollywood and it's the place that people go to, you know, make their dreams and become stars and
Yeah.
celebrities and shit. And it's like, dude, if you only understood that only part of California is by the beach and the rest of it is freaking ag and desert and fucking forest and
Yep.
mountains, then you wouldn't be thinking that the like the middle of the country thinks, where it's like, oh, I want to go to the beach, let's go to California. It's like, dude, you're talking about a long strip of land, but most of our state is fucking either desert or, you know, ag land or inland like mountains.
Yeah, I mean, have these people played GTA 5 and noticed how much of the map there is nothing to do in?
Right? The further you go
That's
into
real
the
life.
freaking desert, that's going into the Central Valley of California, where all of the fruits and avocados and vegetables and everything else you eat probably come from, if they're not, you know, produced out of season. Because that's the one thing, is that's why we rely on other countries for stuff, is because we don't want fruit to have seasons, you know? So that's why we import it. GTA 5 role-playing servers, I got to stream that one time. Have you gotten into any of those GTA like role-playing servers, Wang?
I have not. I'm not a big role playing guy.
I think it'd just be funny to go into those freaking things and just fuck up with their roles.
Yeah, I like my only experience with online role playing. Like I've played online RPGs before, but the thing with people like actually like doing the role playing thing, I used to play this game Growl a lot.
Hmm.
I should probably do a Growl video because like, but I have to see like what still exists of that. That's probably like a lot of stuff that's gone, a lot of drama that's gone. But Growl, it started off as a Link to the Past clone that was massively multiplayer.
What?
And it was really cool, but then they got a cease and desist and had to make their own graphics and stuff that were still highly derivative of a Link to the Past, but it had a pretty cool like community. Like it wasn't massive. Like you would go on the server and maybe at the busiest time there'd be like 120 to 150 people on. But I remember one particular dude, he was basically just being like a huge fucking like cringy thirst bag. Like he, what's the name of the fucking subreddit? Like there's this thing that like neckbeardy dudes will do where they role play out the things they're doing when they're trying to hit on girls. I think it's like creepy asterisks or something like that. I think that's the subreddit.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to look up that shit.
I'm pretty sure it's just like R creepy asterisks or something like that. But it was like a dude in Growl like role playing to somebody like that who was playing as a girl avatar. Might not have even really been a fucking girl, but then but then he tried to like fight me. I said like I think I said like some fucked up shit or no, I was humping a tree. Cause like you could like pull on things and like it make it look like you're helping them, and like he thought I disrespected her honor by doing that or some shit. So he tried to roleplay himself defending her honor, and he got his ass beat. And that's like my one moment where I really like encapsulates what I think of fucking role playing in online games.
Jesus, dude. Like, it's just hilarious. Like the different communities you come across with the world, the internet, and all this craziness. It just, I don't know, man. It makes me laugh because you have these people who are just stuck on the internet, and then you have these people who are stuck on the internet but doing things in real life, like the Ice Poseidons and fucking Cucked Alaska trying to do his shit.
Yeah.
And they're trying to blend these two things, and it's like I don't understand how these people have so many followers and viewers. Like I don't get it. Why would you want to watch someone else wash dishes or walk around fucking Los Angeles or wherever?
Yeah.
Why?
Like see, like the first IRL stream I ever watched, I think. I think it was the Asian Andy Worski Baked Alaska one when they're walking around with the text to speech thing and saying all kinds of fucked up shit, and like they just have to like deal with the people around them. And that's how I thought it always was. So then I tuned into like an Ice Poseidon stream, and he's just kind of like sitting at his computer, like not even fucking talking. And I'm like, why are there like thousands of people watching this right now?
Yeah, I don't get the in the I can understand why people watch the Twitch broads like fucking Alinity because they want to have an accident happen, hope her tit pops out or whatever. But these IRL people, it's like, okay, I want to watch these fucking idiots sit in their living room doing nothing. There's no entertainment value. I mean, unless you're a real big fan of Big Brother.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that makes sense. Space Bitch is like, Ice is entertaining if you like to laugh at autism or people watching. He only sits at his computer for the start of the streams.
That must have
And
been it. I must have just got the beginning of it.
yeah, and I understand that, but I unless you're doing something where it's like, okay, you're going to an event and then you want to do a stream because you want to involve people in the event. But people like Ice Poseidon who do it on the daily and are making tons of money doing it, like I don't understand if it's because people want to see that extravagant lifestyle or because they're so hung up on the mentality of like the Kardashians that
See, finish what you're
no,
saying.
you're good. Yeah, that's
Oh, I thought you were done.
oh, I am done. Believe me, go for it.
Okay, yeah. Like eventually, like that's something I do want to do from the band's channel is like get into at least like when we're on tour, do some IRL streaming. But then it's like actually shit going on at that point.
Yeah, and it's an event and it's like, okay, like here's warm up, like or here's, our day, we, going through this and stuff. It's not just like some random ass dude who lives in Los Angeles and is walking around town.
I was thinking of like thinking back, like there was this one night when like a tour I did like 2 years ago. Um, Most of my band was asleep in the van. We were like holed up in a Walmart parking lot in Detroit, and like we're just walking around, like being half asleep, tired idiots, like not even like drunk or high, just being idiots. And for some reason, like we were all dying laughing at all the dumb shit that was happening there. And I think to myself now, fuck, that night would have been a perfect IRL stream, especially since I went like the security guard was saying we were stealing shit that like they didn't even fucking sell at the store and wound up being a whole thing. Like that would have been a good time for an IRL stream.
Yeah, and I can see like situational IRL streams and stuff like that. Then again, who's to talk? We're sitting here talking about IRL streamers and people find that entertaining because we're shitting on them.
Yeah. The thing
Like,
about it is though, like you And I've noticed this like trying to shoot vlogs with the bands, like you never really know when the interesting stuff is going to happen. So you kind of have to be in that mode already. Because
Yeah.
if you wait for it to happen, you already fucking missed it.
Yeah, so you in IRL, you're streaming at all times, so you're just hoping for a one-off. But if it's the tour or whatever, I understand like thought process of wanting to give your fans or people who can't come see you because you're not hitting their town the experience. But like the living in those people's lives for the day or watching them live their life, because you have these people pushing the blogging and this shit, like I don't give a shit about your day. I want something that's going to spark some sort of like thought or something that's going to, make me laugh and actually invest in the, time of my day versus, oh, I'm going to sit here for 5 hours watching this dude sit at his desk for 5 hours. Yeah, Matt was saying clip channels get as many views as IRL streamers themselves because people don't want to watch the whole fucking 6 hour stream. They want it broken down.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a few different channels that you watch, it's not physically possible to watch it all.
No, well, and that's like I can't even like I like watching like the Kumite and other talk platforms because one, they're fun to watch, and I as much as everyone here may hate Worski, may hate Tonka, whatever, I like those guys.
Yeah.
I hate what Worski did with his channel before. He's flipped back. He's away from fucking the JFs of the world, and I appreciate what he's doing. But it's one of those things where I like Tonka. I like Tonka's demeanor. I like the way he handles himself and the character role he is when he's Tonka.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's enjoyable to me, and it's fun to listen to those because I'll throw it on at work and it's like I'll listen to it like what's going on in the headset in the background.
Yeah, it's like if I have a lot of downtime at work and I actually have fucking signal, I'll usually, open up the YouTube app to see who's streaming at the moment.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I do at work too. Is I'll look who's streaming, and then if there's no one streaming that I'm interested in, I'll jump into like a good playlist of something. Like honestly, one of my fucking guilty pleasures on YouTube is Battlefield Friends.
I don't know what that is.
Neebs Gaming.
No.
Oh God, man, this guy is freaking hilarious. Um, and it's one of the it's like it's animated and it was done through Machinima is who originally caught him and stuff. I'll link it in the sidebar. It's if you ever played the video game Battlefield, any of the Battlefields 3, 2, 1, like the most recent one or anything, they basically take animated and do voice acting to situations that anyone who's ever played a first person shooter has dealt with. Like the guy like who lays down in front of your scope when you're trying to snipe.
So
Or
they'll do it like kind of like in character kind of thing.
yeah, and
Like a red versus blue sort of deal.
yeah, exactly. And it's full animated. It's not the actual characters or models from the game. They did actual animation for it. So they actually animated their 4 characters because there's a squad of 4 in that game. And so it's just different situations that everyone's dealt with in video games that are shooters. And it's just funny the way you have that one guy who's like the rookie and does not know shit about the game and is just horrible at the game and that different characters, but he's freaking really good. And he has a good voice. So it's funny to listen to him even when you're like watching his gameplay because he started off doing gameplay videos and stuff like that. Like I don't know if anyone. Yeah, it's kind of like Red versus Blue, but instead of using actual character models or the actual, models from the gameplay footage, they actually drew and designed their own stuff. So like I know I have no sound. I'll actually present so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. So because I'm not on OBS, it's actual animated and they do actual animation for the channel, and it's different situations. And so I side linked the actual video, but they're, 3 to 4 minute long videos, and I'll just throw on the playlist and, listen to it because it's freaking funny shit.
Cool.
Yeah, you should check that out when you have the time, or if you need something just to listen to. You can watch it. Like,
what I've been doing a lot, actually? Like, I've been binge listening to a lot of, I don't know how I fell down this rabbit hole, but now every time I open up YouTube, my homepage is nothing but like Jim Cornette rants.
Really?
Yeah. I just I spent the night listening to it, and now every time I open up, I'm like, oh, here's one I didn't listen to yet. So that's what I go to if nobody's streaming.
You missed it, Matt. The PewDiePie stuff, Alinity, she's a Twitch thought, got called, or her video got shown on PewDiePie video, and then later on down the video, he calls them all Twitch thoughts. She tried to file a false copyright claim on his channel, and then came out, and if you watch the most recent, Philip DeFranco says that she actually doesn't understand the law and just claims anyone who uses basically her image or her voice, and gets about $700 a month by doing that shit. So she's just copyrighting, claiming out of everyone. So what do you got? When's your next video coming out?
I have the one I put out today. I've been I actually put the Ultimate Warrior video off to the side because this one was fuck, I want to make this one right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on the one I said about the Ultimate Warrior. That'll probably be the next one. I have a few ideas floating around. I'm thinking I'll get that one scripted out tomorrow, and then might be looking at depending on how the week turns out, a Saturday, Sunday release for it.
So do you have an actual release schedule, or you just get them out when you can actually put them out?
Yeah, I just get them out when I can. Gotcha. When I started the channel and I was doing mostly Let's Plays, I tried to keep to a schedule, but now, ever since I started shifting in a more topical direction,
yeah,
it's hard to force it. And if you try to force a schedule in that kind of situation, you're just going to wind up with shitty content. Unless you have some kind of production team behind you that can find all different kinds of things to just, make content happen.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's what we were talking about with the mentality of doing the topic of the day or stuff like that. It's a lot easier because you're not having a deep dive. You can find it everywhere.
Yeah.
Versus what you're doing, which is your pivot has been the deep dive of the internet stories, stuff like that. So I figure it's a good shift, but it's a lot more work.
Yeah, thankfully, what I have too is I have everything I have is kept on Samsung Notes on my phone, so I'll get an idea for a video and just put it in that master list that I have of stuff that I need to make. So as of now, the list is growing faster than I can make videos. So the concern of not having content to work with is kind of distant at this moment. But
yeah, it's just doing the research and producing.
Exactly. It's time consuming, and I still work a regular job, so it's not like I can depending on if this wave of momentum that I'm on right now keeps up, I might be able to just do YouTube full time, but I don't want to make that jump unless I'm really, really sure about it.
Yeah, and because it's a big jump.
Yeah.
To pivoting to, or shifting your whole life to the platform and relying on it,
Luckily the way I'm set up, like I said, it's all a patchwork of different side hustles.
Yeah.
If I were to do the full-time jump and it's not working out, I can kind of correct my course in a couple weeks time. So it's not like I'm going somewhere and turning in my 2 weeks,
No, exactly. Whereas for me, I'd be turning in my 2 weeks. And that's why if I ever catch the momentum, I'm probably going to just do it together, because I like my job, and I dig my career and I dig what I do. So I don't see myself jumping full time, but I mean, when I'm doing these conversationals and interacting with other creators, I could do that every night of the week after work. Cause this isn't work to me. This is a fun interaction with someone who may or may not have the same views. And it's a great conversation versus created content that I'll do on my days off, you know?
Yeah. I think, you know, like the shift, there's definitely like a shift, especially since like streaming is becoming more favored. I feel like I really enjoy editing, and I think the people who don't really enjoy editing that much, you're gonna find like a lot of those people who still want to do the YouTube thing, still want to have like want to make the content. You're gonna have like a lot more people are on the platform just streaming. It'll be like more of a divide, I think.
See, I love editing, dude, and I love being creative with my drop-ins of stuff and different things, but I just freaking hate that I'm not catching any my created content. Like it's been really rough. I get way more interaction with the audience and people in the live stream, even in comments after the fact, than I do on my created shit, you know, because I'm doing what, like you were talking about, the hot topic of the day or the hot topic of within the last few days.
Mhm.
And so that's why I've kind of pivoted to conversation, because, you know, it's something I can do every day and then hopefully not stress when I'm looking at my video and I'm like, so I'm doing 2 videos this week and this one has 500 views and this one has 60 views. What the fuck?
Yeah. The thing is too, like when you do like the streaming really wasn't that big of a thing on YouTube when I started the channel, so I don't really have like much of a comparison, but I feel like the way YouTube treats streaming, it might be more beneficial in general for like a smaller channel to stream more often than to put up a fully edited video. Because it kind of like it'll push you to the front of certain things if you're just talking about something that people are looking for.
Yeah, and as long as I'm putting that in the title and the tags throughout the stream when we shift the conversation.
Yeah, like that'll, or even if you just started like knowing you're going into certain topics, it'll push you to the top of the search results. So there's less competition because no matter what topic you're talking about, there's going to be less people streaming about it at a given time than there are videos that have already been uploaded about it.
Yeah, exactly. Because content creation takes a lot longer than if we're just having a conversation about something that came up today, like the Amos E shit from the Kumite today and stuff. There's probably people creating videos about it right now or clipping things right now, but they haven't gotten it out.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, and what, a month ago you were at 20K, right? And you're at what, 60 now?
Yeah, I'm at 61 actually now.
Jesus. So
I like the month before that I was at like 7,000.
So your big burst has been in the last 2 months.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's awesome, dude. And you know what? Like, I figure this is a good point to segue, and I figure you probably have shit to do tonight or need to eat some dinner.
As soon as we end this, I'm knocking right the fuck out.
Yeah, and so let's get this guy some sleep. So you want to pitch your stuff so anyone who catches it later and isn't one of your fans watching will know what it is.
I do my channel is called Whang. It's I'll type something in the chat so you can see it. I don't know why I typed like random letters. So it's in there so you guys can go to the channel, talk about random internet stories, gaming mysteries, and some real life stories. Like the Ultimate Warrior is going to be like the second official video in the real life series. The first one being the guy who impersonated Mike Portnoy in order to rob gay guys in New York. But yeah, I do those kind of stories, and I have my band Jinx. We're shooting a new music video over the course of the next 2 weeks.
That's awesome. And then Twitter, it's Whang, right? Is it Justin Whang?
Yeah.
Justin Whang as well. Also, guys, as you saw earlier, I have new merch out. The Normie tee you saw was from IT Spring. So if you want to catch up on some of that stuff, if you're one of Justin's fans and you enjoy conversations with amazing creators and people in the world, throw a subscription on my channel. I appreciate you guys stopping in and watching. And I might see you later tonight. I might be throwing another stream together. So thank you guys. And thank you, Justin, for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I had a good time.